Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Autistic Voice Project. As always, I'm Matt Lowry from Louisville, Kentucky.
And I'm Erin Findlay from Napa, California.
And today we are working with horsepower. Tell us,
That's right.
we have Eleda back with us. Tell us more about this whole decision to open up a shop because I personally, ever since I was a kid, I loved comic shops, not just because they have comics and toys, but because the people in there, I related to them. And
Exactly.
there was this one really great shop that's literally 5 minutes away from here now. And it's since closed down, which is tragic because it
Mhm.
closed down during the pandemic. But it had old Transformers and old action figures, and
Oh,
I would go
wow.
there, and it was just there. If anybody knows Transformers, you know that the history of Transformers is based on Japanese robots, microchange, Diaclone, and the Transformers as we know them was a hodgepodge. Anyway, long story short, there was Bumblebee, the one who turns to the yellow Volkswagen, but there was also Red Bumblebee for reasons. And I was like, oh, I never got Red Bumblebee, and it was my birthday, and it was there. And I was like, can I hold the Red Bumblebee? And then if you know Transformers from the 1986 movie, The Touch started playing on the radio. Like, you got the touch, you got the power. It's the scene where Rodimus Prime opens the Matrix, becomes Rodimus Prime, and he's like all cool. I'm holding up Bumblemus Prime, and I'm like, yes, this shall be my toy for my birthday. And that's the kind of
Nice.
vibe that I would love because autistic people, we need spaces that where we can organically find each other, where we have a similar
Right.
interest, where we can get together and do things structured but unstructured,
Hmm.
safe but different. We that it's that
Right.
very fine line there, and
Absolutely.
having a horse shop seems like that would be a really good place for such things. So, how did you
Hmm.
come up with this
Yes.
idea? Tell us about all the people that come there. How do people find you and gravitate towards you? Uh, Tell us all about it.
Yes. All the things.
My background is in retail. I worked for a large supermarket chain for 6 months shy of 20 years and left
Wow.
Oh.
before 6 months before I would have had a retirement party, earned at
Oh,
20 years
oh
because
well.
I had an opportunity to take over a convenience store not far from there and have my own business selling the things I was already used to, food and things like that. So they called it a gas station. I called it a convenience store that happened to sell gas. So I learned how to run the place by doing that.
Mhm.
Um, it was great, loved my customers. It strangely sort of became a place where people came and hung out and just talked for a while, which you don't usually get at convenience stores.
Not
Um,
usually.
yeah, well, I said it was because it was the only one around run by a woman, but I don't think really that was it now looking back at it. Um, there was a fellow that came in one day who had just come out of the ER. He had had an overdose and nearly died,
Mm.
and they saved him. And he came in, his shirt was cut down the front and everything, so that was where he'd come from. And I pulled a chair out of the back room and we sat and talked for 2 hours because it was quiet that night and he needed to
Mm.
talk and process. And so that was kind of in my blood, but it wasn't the selling of product
Yeah.
that really made me excited. It was being able
Yeah.
to be part of a community and help in some way.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
And
So
very
you've got
convenient
that
store.
energy
Neat.
regardless. Yeah.
I just it is.
Yeah.
I care a lot about everybody, so I want to make their day a
Yeah.
little better one way or another if I can. But the convenience store was tough. It was not a good place for someone who cares a lot
Yeah.
because you have to sell beer to alcoholics because the only way you
Yeah.
make money in that business is selling sin items. And I didn't like that at all. There were a couple of incidents where customers had bad things happen. And
Mm.
I know that, they regularly came in and bought alcohol from us. And it just broke my heart. There was one time I couldn't go into the store for a week because the person that I liked, one of our customers who was an alcoholic, died.
Oh.
And
Mm.
it it was tough. And I
Yeah.
decided, I can't keep doing this. I love the people, but I don't like seeing what the people are doing to themselves, even though it's their own choice.
Yeah.
So I started working on Triple Mountain on the side, literally on the side counter at the convenience store on my computer in between customers, writing up model horse listings and setting up our website. And eventually it became more busy on the website than it was at the convenience store even. And I said, well, I can't, something's got to give, and I can tell you which one it's going to be right now.
Well, sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think there are that many bad decisions related to model horses.
No, there aren't. And everybody that comes is happy, and it makes them happier. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so much
The
better.
worst thing that can happen is that somebody will lose their voice because they got because
Because they
A
got a
here it
little
little
comes.
horse.
horse.
They got a
Good
little horse.
job.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
job.
yeah,
Nice, nice.
yeah,
Not as good as the stable one, but
ah,
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing about autistic interest. There's so many puns. It's beautiful. Yeah,
Puns are
yeah,
wonderful. I
yeah,
love it. We
Yes.
yeah,
encourage that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, so we had the opportunity. I was doing it just online for the longest time, and we ship horses all over the world. It was great fun. I'm a girl from the backwoods of Maine. My town didn't know that my road existed until I was 18. So it was
Wow.
hard to get on the voter rolls
Okay.
because they didn't have our road listed as part of the town.
Oh,
So
wow.
Might as well
that's
be in Narnia. Wow.
yeah, yeah, it was a small rural area. Um, so doing things online and getting to meet people in Australia and England and things, even just on email, that had the
Hmm.
same interest was really fascinating. And I'd hear about
Hmm.
the horses that they have in their area, the local varieties and breeds and things. Really neat stuff. So we decided, okay, we started with selling retired models, like you were talking about the vintage Transformers. That's how I started. A friend of mine, thank you, June, asked me to help sell her collection because she was going to downsize. So I started selling them on the website that I already had, but I wasn't really using. And within 2 weeks, I got an email from a collector down in Virginia who said, hey, I'd like to sell some of mine. Do you do consignments? I was young and naive and said, sure, why not? Don't know what that involves, but we'll do it. And
I love
she had a
it.
massive collection of, I'm going to guess, over 3,000
Wow.
models. And she is still sending us batches of
Holy
models
cow.
today. And she started in 2012 with us.
Holy cow.
So we get a couple boxes every couple of months from her. And she's still going through her collection and narrowing them down little by little as she's retirement age.
Hmm.
And so once we had one, and I got to, you know it, pull out the Excel sheets and had to make a
The
way to track
joy.
consignments and sales and who owned what and where they were located in storage. So once I got my Excel sheet up and running, sky was the limit, and we're now on consigner 43,
Wow.
and have we handle a lot of really big herds. I do a lot of estate herds these days, because to me, handling an estate herd for a collector who has passed and for their family is like my way of
Mm.
giving back to the community, because the family gets
Hmm.
overwhelmed. They don't know what to do with these plastic horses. They don't know if they have any value or if they should just throw them into a box, which really makes me
Yeah.
cringe, and send them to Goodwill. So we
Yes.
take them and we give them the value, and we show them that, you're a collector, your loved one wasn't crazy, and they left you a great
Right.
inheritance. It just is
Hmm.
going to take a little longer to get it, but you're going to get it in
Right.
installments as they sell. And we send out $5,000 checks sometimes quarterly to some of these families, and that makes me
Wow.
glad for the collector that they know they left something for their family that they could use.
And I think that
Mm.
that's a really important tangent to go on because a lot of autistic people, myself included, have collections, and we love our collections dearly. They become a part of who we are. But what happens when we leave this planet? Because
Hmm.
we want to know that our stuff is going to, number one, not be a burden to our loved ones, but number two, go to somebody who values it as much as we did. Because
Right,
there is a lot of neurotypical people who will say, is it valuable or is it junk? I can't tell the difference. And if
right.
they look at a horse and they'll say junk, and they'll, worst case
Yep,
scenario, throw it in the trash,
yep,
instead of saying, oh yes, this is a vintage 1983, and
yep.
go from there.
Yeah, there
and
are
and
some
this
models that are worth thousands of dollars. We saw one come up on a Goodwill eBay lot once. That was a 1964 Gold Charm. They only made them for 1 year. It was a saddlebred, and then Breyer discontinued them and repainted their leftover stock because nobody wanted gold horses in '64. And now they're worth, sometimes 13, $15,000. And it
Holy
just popped
smokes.
up in a lot of random horses on eBay. And
Wow.
obviously it did really well for eBay, but I mean, it did that well for eBay, but it did well for Goodwill as well. But you think, well, it was probably tossed in a box,
Hmm.
condition is everything when it comes to collectibles, and they're very fragile. So you just think, well, it was probably in a lot better condition when this person had it,
Yeah.
and they probably passed away, and now it's not in as good a condition as they kept it all these years because their family didn't know it was worth anything. And
Right.
that's what we want to avoid. So I always try to, get right in with the family as soon as they contact us and say, okay, first of all, here's how to handle them, keep them safe. Your collector took good care of them all these years. There was a reason for
Right.
that, but here's how you
Continue
have
that.
to.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
actually, thinking about the collections, that's one of the places where you and I, Alita, connected a little bit when you first emailed in. So tell us a little bit, Alita, about how you're here today, because I want our listeners to know that, and then we can go into the collection story.
Well, it's pretty simple. Matt said on a podcast a little while ago, if you have a story to tell and you want to be on our podcast, contact us. And I'm pretty literal, so I just did.
As is the way, yes. And
Right,
and
which
indeed I meant it, because this is
yes,
fascinating. The,
yes,
the whole reason behind this podcast is to meet other interesting people that have stories to tell and voices that they want to express. I want to have that
yes,
because this is the thing, like your store, I really, really want to build a community. I really, really want people to come and talk and feel accepted and know that
Yes.
they belong here,
That's
not
so
just
right,
are
fun.
tolerated, but they
right,
Right.
belong. and
right.
and again, this is beautiful.
It's
I
beautiful to say.
love hearing about all this, because oh my god, these are all questions that I've had, especially as a lifelong collector with all kinds of neat stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
especially since Lego holds its value better than gold. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my son has a
Oh, yeah.
fortune sitting there. So
Right.
but you decided to, you again took it literally and talk to us. We really
Yes.
mean it. Yes, please
Yes.
contact us. We'd love to hear from interesting people. And
Yes.
Yes,
So
of
that
course.
in case you, our favorite listener who isn't here with us today, wants to come talk to us about your cool, awesome, whatever your special interest is, please email us. We want to hear from you. We love
yes.
hearing from you. Do not assume that, like, I just got an email from somebody not too long ago who was concerned that they were commenting on too many of our episodes. Heck no. I
Oh
love
gosh.
that you're coming and commenting on every episode. Do
Yes.
it. I love it. It's fabulous. It's us. Bring it. Like
Due
we
to
Yeah.
my exhaustion for like literally everything in life, I don't have the energy to respond. But I'm glad that
yes.
you comment. I'm
Yes.
not intentionally ignoring you. I'm just trying desperately to keep my meat body going. But I
Yes.
am
Right
glad
now
that
it's
you are
mostly me
there.
responding. But Matt's responding in spirit.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll look at it and have a response in my head. It won't quite translate to
uh
my fingers, but
But you
yeah.
I'm
feel it
That
glad
to
that
whole
be
you're there.
psychic
there.
response thing, it never quite
Yes,
works.
exactly. So you can feel the warmth from my
That's right.
brain to yours.
Right.
Absolutely. And everyone that's listening, these folks really are as nice as they seem. And Erin emailed me back. We talked unicorns. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Please do.
And it was great fun. And it is
Yes.
like talking with people that you've known all your life, because
Right.
you're us. Where are you?
Right.
So come
We
Yeah.
on in. I
vibe.
want to hear everybody else's stories too. So,
Yes,
Yeah.
so
yes,
come in,
yes. For
please.
the love of God, yes. And so this is the reason I started the other podcast. The reason that brought us to here is because a long, long time ago, when my son was a little bitty guy, right? I realized he was autistic. And I was like, oh crap, the world is going to treat him poorly like he treated me. And it was around Father's Day. And at Target, I would take my son out, and he loved buying books. And I'm not going to discourage that. One of the books he got was a
No.
little leather bound book called My Father's Story. And it had these prompts in there that I was supposed to write, like, when did
Oh,
you go to
cool.
school? When did you do this? And due to
Mm,
process complexity,
nice.
I never actually got around to writing anything in there. But when the opportunity to do a podcast came around, I was like, yes, this is a perfect example, because I want to have some sort of legacy for my son and
Oh,
other
that's
people
awesome.
like him and other autistic people out there, to know that we are not alone. We need to have
Yeah.
some sort of recorded history of the autistic people, how we have always been here, how RFK willing, we will always be here. We'll take him down yet, Mr. Cocaine Toilet Seat. But we have stories to tell, and I want this to be. I am an avid here. One of my collections. I don't know if I'll be able to turn around because of all the cords here. We'll see if I yank everything off. Hold on one second. Here, I'm going to unplug this so I can turn around, and the people on YouTube are going to see this. The people on the podcast are just going to have to listen. This is my library up here, and
Oh, wow.
the vast majority of those are, well, I mean, there's psych books, there's graphic novels, but I
Mm-hmm.
collect world mythology.
Oh,
And I
cool.
love knowing the stories of people. It's the reason why I created the Autistica series, The Legends of Autistica, which I think that people can listen to here on the YouTube channel and on
Yes, they
our
can.
podcast. But
Yes.
I love storytellers. I love hearing the history of people. And if you have something to contribute to the vast tapestry of our history, please join
Please,
us.
please join us. Yes, and
Please do.
I a little while ago I flashed part of my book
Ah, yes.
collection. These
Your
are all
native
my
one painting.
professional, and the unicorn painting, which I pulled out from my collection, um,
Yeah.
that had been put up when I moved, and then also I just have to say my new unicorn.
Oh,
Thank you,
that's very
Alita.
nice.
I hope
Isn't
he
that pretty?
inspires you to
Rainbow.
get many more.
And he totally goes in the coloring of my office, like the blue and the purple and the turquoise and the rainbow. It's so perfect.
Excellent.
So yeah, when
You gotta do one thing though. You have to free the pony.
I will,
It's sort of a rule.
I need
Free the
to
pony.
I need to figure out where he's gonna live. And that's probably gonna be in conjunction with hanging the unicorn painting, which I've decided is going to go there.
Oh, that's
Um,
wonderful. Remind
yes,
you of your joy every time you see it.
exactly. And
That's good.
reminded me, it's like, so when I was a kid, all about unicorns, all about unicorns. And I had a collection of a pretty big collection, like not at 1800, but a pretty big collection of really nice and interesting unicorns from all kinds of places.
Oh,
Um, and when I was in my late 30s, no, early 40s, before I knew I was autistic, we were getting ready to move from where we were living before to Napa, and I downsized my collection, and a lot of it is still in boxes right now. And so now I'm like, okay, maybe what I need to do is put my, and actually this is real time thinking, like I'll put the unicorn that's behind me up here, and maybe I have some wall space here. Maybe I could put some shelves here where I can put the figurines that I do still have,
absolutely.
so that I can be surrounded by my unicorns, um, because they've always been a part of me, and I am, now kicking myself for having given up
Mm.
because I used to be Erin at blackunicorn.net.
Oh.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and
Very
and
cool.
and when I grew out of it, quote unquote, I let
Yeah.
those web domains go, and now I'm like, damn it, I want them back, but they'd be like thousands of dollars to try to get back, assuming I could even try. So
Yeah, probably. But you have your
sigh.
unicorn. You have some of your unicorns still, so that's the important
Yes.
part. Those are the tangible things,
Yeah.
and they bring us joy. We need that in this world. So
Yes.
Right.
I am all about making sure people have no shame around their joy, because
Yeah.
almost everyone that comes in here for the first time, at least the adults, they walk in here, the first thing is they gasp,
Ha!
because
Ha! Ha!
that's a lot of horses. Every
Mhm.
wall, I turn around the camera, I'm afraid I might tip it over. Every empty space has horses. We also have other animals, but horses. And they gasp, and then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry." And they seem to
Ha!
shrink a little bit, because
Oh.
they've been told all their lives that, especially adult women, you don't spend money on quote unquote foolish things. You
Yes.
spend money on your family and your home.
Yeah.
And
Right.
those are the only acceptable things for you to spend money on. Maybe clothes, but usually only if it has to do with your job.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're being frivolous.
Hmm.
So, too many people let go of their joy, or are ashamed of it, or hide it. We still have some of our regular customers that don't generally tell people that they're a collector, because their workplace or whatever would not be receptive to that. And that hurts
Yeah.
Mhm.
because that's the one thing in their life that really brings joy, other than their kids, maybe. So
Mhm.
if you are afraid to share that or you're being shamed for it whenever you do, that's not right. So
Yeah.
I've
Mhm.
actually had spouses come in here and go, I can't believe they want to spend money on plastic horses. And I said, you know what? Your spouse has joy in their life. You should be
Right.
glad about that because a lot of people don't. And I'm not shy about saying such things because shame has
Well,
no place here.
Yes.
and I would wonder, like, you know what was your joy that you lost,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Exactly. It seems like a
Person
lot
who
of
is being a
neurotypicals
naysayer.
never get super passionate about things,
That's
which
Well,
so
there's
true.
sad
that.
to me in the beginning. They kind of
Yes,
skim
there
over a
is
lot
that.
of things, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a lot of issues in my first marriage because her mother thought that everything I owned had a monetary value and should be sold and given to my ex
Mm.
because that way she wouldn't have to work. And I was like,
Oh,
well, this is the thing that brings me joy. I wasn't allowed
no.
to keep any of my stuff in the living room. In the
Oh,
event
Mhm.
that a hypothetical colleague of my wife's came home
oh,
and judged me for having my stuff in the living room, I was like, well, I live here, they don't. I don't care. But
Mhm.
it
good for
was
you.
that contributed to all this. And
Mhm.
that's the thing about the autistic joy, because it's commonly known that we have meltdowns and shutdowns because we get overwhelmed, overstimulated, sad. But it also causes neurotypicals problems when we express that autistic joy, when we gasp, when we shriek, when we flap, when we have
Mhm.
all of these positive emotions, because it makes them feel comfortable because they can't understand it.
Right,
They
Mhm.
right.
blame it on mania when we're really, really happy, or
Right.
hypomania, because
Right.
they say, oh yes, sometimes you're really depressed and sometimes you're hypomanic. It's like, no, no, that's just how our emotions work.
No, I
I
just
I
like things a lot.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Feel
I
everything deeply,
I
including
in
here.
the mail today, I just got a life-size replica of Blinky the three-eyed fish from The Simpsons.
Oh my
So
gosh, that's amazing.
I I am it's been I moved into this house in October of 2024, and at first just massively overwhelmed by how am I going to set up my new systems? How am I going to put
Mm,
I've got my mug
Yeah.
collection in there, my books in here, but the basement, I knew I wanted a museum. I knew I wanted my library. I've got my
Mhm.
video game and my movies here, but I like Erin, where you're like, I want to set it up here and I want to set it up here, and I've been in that mental planning process for some time because I
Yep.
want to do it right. And this
Mhm.
is like the autistic thing. We get stuck in the autistic inertia because we have to pre-plan literally everything.
right.
And my son is my body double because he's like, we haven't cleaned this up yet. We need to clean this up right now. I'm like, all right, son. So
He sounds
whenever
delightful. I love him
ex-
already.
He is such a cutie pie. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh.
and
That child, such a cutie pie.
and he's very determined without being demanding. So
Mhm.
he'll put on his headphones, he'll watch Peppa Pig on his tablet, he'll sit in my nice comfy chair downstairs. And yesterday I rearranged the weaponry shelf because
Nice.
I have a Captain America shield, I have a Hylian shield from The Legend of Zelda, various
Cool.
versions of the Master Sword, He-Man's Sword of Power,
Nice.
the Power Rangers weapons because the Blue Ranger is autistic, and
Nice.
then I needed to complete the set. But I just
Of
got
course.
a notice that my LARP version of She-Ra's sword, He-Man's battle axe, a batleth, and one other thing is the sword of omens from Thundercats. They're all
Oh my
LARP. They're
Nice.
goodness.
all foam. They're all very
Wow.
easily played with by a 10-year-old, and he loves to play with them because like. And what do we say when we hold up the Thundercats sword? Uh, Thundercats,
That's so.
ho! What do we do
That's
when we hold
right.
up the power sword? I have the
I
power!
have
And
the power.
I teach him about our people. So
That's awesome.
I've got those up. I've got all of my lightsabers mounted. I've got all of my Star Wars helmets mounted. I've got my Indiana Jones fedora. I've got shelves for all of my other prop replicas, and I
Mm.
need to finally unpack the collection of action figures. And like
Ah.
and this is what I have, like you were saying about the safely packing the delicate collectibles.
Mm.
Mhm.
I did not have enough time when I was moving to pack
That
everything to
sucks.
the standard that I would like.
Oh.
And it horrifies me to my core that I will open things up and they will be broken.
Mm.
Eh, I know that the movers dropped things because I
Oh.
find things that are not supposed to be in that box in
Oh.
different boxes. So I'm like, oh God, how much did I lose? How much am I
Mm.
having to rebuild? How much will I have to repair? Because while having a collection is one of the greatest autistic joys, moving, organizing, well,
Yeah.
organizing is great, but moving it, knowing that it might be broken, knowing that it might be devalued,
Nightmare.
trying to take care of it after we die, those are the downsides to this great autistic joy. And
Mhm.
I know that when I get my shelves hung up and I'm able to organize and put everything where it needs to go, my son will be there with me because he loves organizing and lining up stuff, and that's our thing, lining up
That's gonna be
stuff on
fun.
shelves.
That's
That
memory
Mhm.
making right there for the
yes,
two of you. He'll remember it
yes,
all his life.
Ugh,
and he is
nice.
gung ho about that. He
Ah.
every time he comes to my house, he comes in, eats his Happy Meal, gets his tablet, and says, "Need to work on the museum." I was like, "Okay, we will work on
Oh.
the museum." He's a Gestalt language
Nice.
processor. He gets straight to the point, and he body doubles while I work on the museum.
I
And
I love
love
it.
it.
I bought this house specifically for the museum space.
I'm
Uh,
so excited for you.
and I
Yeah.
can't wait to get it done and show it off and curate it. And I know that when I put up the stuff that is the best stuff, I need to find an avenue to 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 distribute. I don't want to say get rid of because I don't want to get rid of
Mhm.
anything, but I also know
Mhm.
that I don't eternally have all the room, and it's just sitting in a box when it might go to somebody else who really appreciate it.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
want to find some avenue to disseminate things. And again, I've always wanted to have a collectible store
Mhm.
Well, I can give
for
you some tips if you
yeah
decide you ever want to. It
yeah
could be your
Right.
retirement project when the time comes. But I know
exactly.
everybody needs you doing what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
Tell us about the how did you come up with the name for your store? How did you go from online to in person and showing it off and doing all these things?
well, the name Triple Mountain is actually named for the place where we live.
Oh,
On the
that's neat.
map,
Uh,
it's called Smalls Mountain after a man named Daniel Small, but he never lived on the mountain, so I didn't feel like I had to really be super loyal to that. So the
Nice.
mountain has three tops, so we called it Triple
Okay.
Mountain,
plus
and
the
there you
mountain
have
was
it.
not small if it has three tops.
Right,
So
Right.
exactly.
yeah, I didn't know if there's
Seems
like
rather large,
Twin Peaks
actually.
plus one or what,
Kind
but
of.
yeah,
We don't ask what goes on out back there.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it, and we had a logo made and such, and
Nice.
just went with that. But we were just online until we decided that instead of just doing vintage collectibles, we also wanted to become a retailer for the current models. And the manufacturers require you to have a brick and mortar store. You can't just be online because it's just so much competition in that space.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
it devalues the brand when everybody's trying to undercut everybody. So they do usually have a minimum price that you have to sell at and things like that to keep the value of the brand there. But you also have to have a physical store. And so we started with one smaller brand, and I had to apply 3 different times to be able to carry Briar, and including having the other brand in the store and empty shelves with a sign saying Briar will go here before they finally
Mm.
accepted us.
Mhm.
But then we
Wow.
became their biggest dealer in Maine, and now we have customers everywhere. We just shipped to Estonia a couple weeks ago. Hi, Sergey.
Wow.
I'm
Estonia. Oh, that's
Elizabeth.
cool.
Yeah, I had to
Nice.
look up where
Nice.
Estonia was. I'm ashamed to say because I'm usually good with geography, but I did not know Estonia, and now I've
Mhm.
learned a lot because we've shared emails back and forth and learned so much, and it's a fascinating place.
Nice.
And folks in Australia, we have some amazing characters in Australia. If they watch this, they know who I'm talking about. One of them that chases hawks away from her chickens by throwing oranges at them and knocking the hawk out of the sky with an orange. So
Oh
Australian.
gosh.
Oh my
So I,
God, that's
I
cool.
love our customers. We have such good customers. And then with the store, it started slow, which is what I wanted because
Yeah.
people. And so I never advertised locally. And so we started calling it the best kept secret in town that the rest of the world knows all about because we're
Ah,
shipping all over the world. But people keep discovering us as they drive down the road and go, "Oh,
Right.
I saw your sign. You have Briar? Come on in." Um,
That's right. But
and so
only if
that's
it's
how they
on the day
find
we're
us.
open.
That's right, which is just Sundays, 10 to 3, and that is it. 5 hours, I'm done peopling.
Yeah.
Unless we're having a really good, storytelling conversation. And then I'm like, don't leave. Let's just keep going. This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
That's how we
and
run the
now,
podcast.
Yep, pretty
I
much.
love
Pretty
it.
much.
We've had people come from all over the place to my little store. Our store is like 30 feet by 25 feet. It's a little shop. It's in the woods. There is no other building on our road for half a mile in any direction except for our
Mm.
house up the hill. So we really are out there. And we've had people drive from many states over to come and visit. We had some folks who have come a couple of times from Pennsylvania up to Maine.
Mm.
It's a 9-hour drive each way. The
Oof.
mother and daughter drove up just to shop at our store and say hi, and then drove home that night. And then
Oh, that's
last
a
year we
long
had
day
some
in the car.
yeah, but they had fun. They said they wanted to come again. And
Mm,
we just had some
wonderful.
folks do that from Ohio last year. And I'm just amazed when this happens. And usually I
Yeah.
say, well, if you've got time, stay. There's some great places to stay in North Conway. You can go hiking. You can do, all the fun stuff too. Make it a real fun trip because I kind of feel bad that I have just a little bitty store, but it is fun. We have our mascots out front. We have two life-size fiberglass horses painted realistically. Um,
Nice. I
they are
love it.
Appaloosas, which is a spotted horse, very much like this girl. So they're white
Nice.
with spots, but some of their spots I paint because I painted them with a couple of friends. We had a laughing painting party and just painted spots on
Nice.
fiberglass horses. But
As
we
one
made
does.
some,
That
yeah, as
sounds
one does,
fabulous.
because it's us.
Right.
But we made some of the spots be special shapes, so it's like a
Mm.
treasure hunt. There's a
Oh,
state of
Mm.
Maine, there's a pine tree, there's a heart, different things. So we,
Nice. Oh,
we
that's
asked
so
the
awesome.
customers, we asked our customers to name the adult horse. It was the first one we put out, and they named her Treasure because she's a
oh,
treasure hunt. So
oh,
Aw,
she was there.
nice.
And then we just added her foal last year, and the foal's name is Jewel, and she
oh.
has different
Nice.
special spots, so people can
Okay.
go around and find all that too. And so that's really interactive, and it kind of breaks the ice a little bit too. And people are shy coming in, like, "Oh, I found a black bear on your horse! Yay, good job!" So, did you
Nice.
see the dragonfly though?
Is there a dragon on one of the horses? Not the dragonfly, but an actual dragon? Because
No, there's
Matt
not a dragon, but that would have been a
Matt
good
needs a dragon
idea.
on one of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
horses.
an
Yeah, I
homage
think
to
so
Spike
too.
and the art, the culture.
That's right.
And yeah,
That's right.
so this is the thing about this, because whereas if someone just wanted to buy merchandise, the website exists,
Yeah.
but people drive
There's an
because of the
experience.
community, because of the vibe, because you have created something where people feel connected. And we don't get a lot of that in this world because once again,
Yeah.
the major toy sellers are Walmart, and they have an aisle of whatever
Mm,
mass-produced stuff is being sold at the time,
Hmm.
instead of having someplace that people really care about it, and you can go and
right.
feel like you belong there.
Right. And you
Right.
can ask questions about it, and hopefully I know the answer. If not, I know how to find it.
Ah!
Yeah, it's a whole it's a whole different thing. Well, there's a reference site for the hobby for Breyer model horses. It's called Identify Your Breyer. So if you were to find a horse in an antique store or something, you could look it up and figure out which one it is, how old it is. And I'm one of the 3 curators for the site. So it's
Well, we got to
I
Ah.
do
back
this
up on that one.
24/7.
Yeah, tell us more about being a horse archivist,
Hey,
because
I'm monotropic,
oh,
baby.
yeah. How
Nice.
does one
Nice. I
become a
love it.
horse archivist? Because
Uh,
holy crap, I wish we'd
uh.
led with that one. Oh my God, that's cool. Tell us.
There's nothing better than having your favorite thing and then be able to organize it with Excel sheets and things.
Yes,
Nice.
yes.
Actually, it was started in 2000 by a wonderful lady who I don't know if she was on the spectrum or not, but let's just say she kept to herself a lot. And she
Mm.
spent over 60 hours a week working on documenting everything that Breyer made. And
She's
she
not one of
made
us.
her own
She's an
code.
honorary.
You would
Yeah,
think so, yeah. She
yeah,
built her
yeah.
own code from the ground up, made the
Wow.
website, the whole thing. She passed away in 2021, and
Mm.
everybody in the hobby, and there's a lot of us in the hobby, we started worrying about what was going to happen to the site because it's so valuable to everybody being able to identify things. Breyer doesn't even keep track of how many
Oh,
they produce of certain things. So this was basically the only record, and being online, if new information came up, it was easy to correct right away. So it's better than the old books that we used to have that were outdated before they were published because new information comes up. You know how it is
Yeah.
in collecting world. So when she passed away, I reached out to her friend, and they talked to the family, and we arranged to be able to take over the website. But I
Wow.
knew I couldn't do it because I cannot code my way out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
So,
Same.
two of my friends that collect, one in Michigan and one in Quebec, both jumped in. They have coding skills. They're absolutely amazing. And the three of us together, we each kind of have our own niche, but we all do everything. But except I'm not allowed to code because that's bad things happen. Uh,
Yeah.
very bad things can happen.
Everyone has their limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once knocked all 8,000 items off from my own website with one button. So
Oops.
yeah, I'm not allowed to
Oops.
touch any of the coding,
Oh
but I can
my.
upload photos like a champion. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
so yeah, so we take care of that, and it's a free site for everyone to use. There are no subscriptions, Matt, so we don't believe in making people pay to look up things
This is
because
the
we want
way.
everyone to enjoy the hobby. Yeah, so we do take donations on there because hosting is over $100 a month because of the size of the website. We have tens of thousands of entries, and they all have their
Wow.
own information and stuff. But it is fun because, if I am done taking pictures of horses and putting horses on shelves and talking about horses with people, then I can go on there and upload photos of horses and write about
Nice.
horses.
Nice.
And
I
then I
like
go
the
to bed and get
variety
up
of
and
the
dream about
different ways
horses.
to express the love of horses.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
why not, right? Right?
How did we never know I was autistic? It
Ha!
just, now that I know, it's just like it was so glaringly obvious. But everyone just thought I was unique, and it's okay. That's fine. I am.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Right, right. That apparently they overlooked the flashing neon signs
Yeah,
that were
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The one time I got kicked out of class in high school was because I was drawing a horse and the teacher didn't think I was paying attention. But that was my way of stimming because I could sketch the horse while I was listening to him and not make eye contact. So he asked me a question, I got
nice.
it right, and he was still mad, so he kicked me out. So
Ha!
I gave him the drawing when I came back and said, "Here,
That
this
is
is for you."
so
Yeah, yeah.
that is so prototypical of the autistic experience
Isn't
right
it?
there.
Yep. So anybody out there that's struggling with that, or young folks, because school sucks, just gonna tell you,
Yeah.
for most autistic folks, but it gets
Hmm.
better. So hang in there and don't give in. Be yourself, because there's enough
Yes.
boring people in the world.
Yes.
Be interesting. All
Honest to
autistic
That's
God.
people
right.
are fascinating.
So this again, this is why I'm glad that you wrote to us and came on, because
Yes.
I have an aversion to boring people. I
Hmm.
have because there's lots of quote unquote normal people in the world who do quote unquote normal things. I can't hold a conversation with people like that. I need somebody, I need a hook. I need
Mm.
something that somebody does that is out of the ordinary, where I'm like, oh
Yes.
my God, tell me more about that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Whether it's, horses or brine shrimp or something really, really eccentric. I
Hmm.
really love hearing about the depths of everything. And
Well,
Absolutely.
and I
again,
don't know about for you, but for me, that one of the things that hooks me is the other person's passion, right?
yes.
Yes.
So
Yes. If
so
they're
I
excited about
I
it, I'm
don't
gonna be excited.
I don't know a single thing about brine shrimp except that weren't they like in the seahorse capsules or whatever that like
Sea monkeys,
and
yes.
sea monkeys. Yeah, there you go. So if any of you are brine shrimp people, please come talk to us because I remember sea monkeys, but that's the extent of my knowledge. I'm not necessarily motivated on my own to go digging into that, but if you're
Right.
hopping on here and we're chatting about brine shrimp and you're telling me all the things that you're interested in about it and I can feel your passion, I want to go on that ride.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely. We have a regular customer who comes in almost every week, and he does not collect horse. Well, he's starting to collect horses with his girlfriend, but he collects Gundam Space Warriors,
Ah, yes.
Space
Ah,
Marines. I'm sorry, he's going to kill
yes.
me. I said the wrong name.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And I knew nothing about them, but around here we always say, after you've come in once, you got the lay of the land. I expect show and tell next time. So bring me
Nice.
something to see. I want to see,
Nice.
everybody who's here wants to see, and tell us about whatever it is that you love, whether it's something you collect or an art project you're working on. Bring it. Let's talk. Let's show it. Don't be afraid. Nobody's going to be mean about it. We all love what everybody's doing. So he
Nice.
has brought in several of his Space Marines and told me their entire backstories, and I was fascinated the whole time. I asked him about the different decorations on their armor because that was interesting to me. And then he brought in the encyclopedic book, which was a big book, and I swear he had everything in it memorized, and I was just fascinated. I loved it.
Wow.
And so this is the sort of thing that we all love. So yeah, I definitely hope more people come on here and share what they're passionate about, because it is that energy, that passion that drives us to learn more about things we would have never heard of before sometimes.
Yes,
Right.
this is the
Yeah.
way. And
Mm.
that's the thing, that because the world is largely terrible at the moment, and
It
we
is.
I hate that so many of us have to be in hiding. We absolutely need to be out there and be our eccentric, weird, enthusiastic selves.
Hmm.
I live
Yes.
vicariously through other people, and that's the thing about having a collection, because I love having a collection. I love, displaying it, but I really it's a bonding activity for us to be able to show it off and talk
Yes.
about it to
Mm-hmm.
people. And
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
what this gives me more motivation to finish the museum so I can do podcasting from the museum.
That would be
But
so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
it's one of those things. It makes me so happy to get that vicarious spirit through other people, to know that you've got such a great place and you're so enthusiastic and you know so much about this, and
Mm-hmm.
it keeps everything going. When again, I'm in southern Indiana, right across the river from Louisville. It's hard to find other people around here, because but the podcast lets us broadcast around the world, and
That's
I
right.
really want to know everybody out there. I want to know what you have. I want to know what you love. I want to know. I want to feed off of your passion.
That's
So
right.
it's
And we
so
all
cool.
need that. I'd recommend everybody find a hobby shop in your area if you have
Yes.
a hobby. If you do
Mm-hmm.
knitting, I know Erin loves to knit and
Mm-hmm.
crochet and things. Find a knitting shop where people where
Right.
there's a table. If you see a table and chairs, that's the place you want to start visiting,
Right.
because once they know who you are and know that you're one of them, and as you know, there's a lot of knitters who are on the spectrum as well.
Yep.
Um,
Our
there's so
friend
many
Hunter
things here.
Hammerson lives in Maine,
Yes.
relatively close to you. So
Indeed, I'm gonna
yeah.
have
Yes.
to send her an email before long. I
Yeah.
rewatched her
I wonder if
episode earlier
I wonder
today.
if she's into
She's
horses.
great.
I wonder if she's knitted any horse things.
Oh, now that
Oh
could be
man,
interesting because I could
we can have
sell
a
Ooh.
horse things
crossover
that were
episode.
knitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in our hobby alone, there are so many ways to enjoy it besides just collecting them and putting them on shelves. I know
Mm-hmm.
somebody who makes a living by making saddles and bridles and selling them, and they are so
Mm.
realistic that in a
Tiny
photo
saddles
you
and
would think
tiny
it.
bridles.
Yep.
Oh
And
my
they're all
god.
hand
Nice.
stitched and hand tooled, and you would think it was a real thing if you saw a photo of it.
Wow.
And they sell for hundreds of dollars a set. And then there are other people who can take a regular plastic model that comes from Breyer and completely repaint it, change its position, cut off body parts, put on different horse body parts, and make something new and sell them for hundreds of dollars. And then
Wow.
we also have competitions around the country. So people that want to bring their horses, and we do shows and different competitions. And there's the national finals every year at Briarfest at Kentucky Horse Park, just down the road from you.
I've got to
So
go to that.
there's so many things, and a lot of hobbies, there's a lot more depth to them than most people think.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If they're by themselves and just have their horses on a shelf or just
Right.
knit in the corner, then once you get out to a hobby shop, you're going to find out that there are gatherings for these things, that there are groups of people who
Mm-hmm.
talk about it, there are online forums. You never know, there might be competitions or just
Mm-hmm.
shows, or a group where everybody gets together and makes an art project together. But when you get out there and you find the people, it's not as scary as it sounds, because they're us.
Yep.
They're
Mm-hmm.
not the judgy people. They're us.
Mm-hmm.
So find yourself a shop is what I try to tell people who don't live around here. I mean, if you want to drive 9 hours here, I will welcome you, and I will be honored and grateful to the ends of the earth, and love to hear your stories. But if you can't get here, please find another place where you can find your tribe and feel accepted.
And
Um,
if you
yeah,
can't find one in person, remember that we have a Discord and we also have a
right.
Facebook group. So
Yeah.
if you want to join us virtually, actual
Yeah.
Absolutely.
us,
And yeah,
um,
because whereas I still don't understand Discord, I am active and post way too much in the Autistic Connections group, because when I find interesting things, it's easy to click share, because I doom scroll a lot in this age of doom. But
there's
and
that.
Eleda, you're welcome to join us at Autistic Connections,
I
both
would
on
love
Discord
Yes.
that.
and Facebook, because again, I like collections and I collect interesting people. And you're welcome to come back anytime you
I'm
like.
honored. I'm
Yes.
Again,
interesting.
we got to get that crossover
Yes.
episode with you and Hunter, because I
You
think
have
that
been
would be
officially
really
gosh.
collected, Alita.
And Becky Laura Hector.
Yeah,
Because
yes,
she's up in Maine
exactly.
too.
Yes, she
There you
is. She
go.
is. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I wonder if
I've heard
she
both
has
right
any
over
horse
here, too.
connections.
Always bring your sunglasses.
Doesn't
So,
sound like it. Yes, always bring your sunglasses. She sent a copy. She sent me 2 copies of her book. She was so
Aw.
sweet.
Oh,
And so one of them
wonderful.
lives with me forever and ever because she signed it and wrote a lovely note. And then the
Oh,
other one she asked me to give to someone. It's become a loan book here at the store.
I
It's
Oh my
love
God,
sitting
that's
that.
so
home right now.
cool.
Yep.
I
So
love
it went
that.
out, it came back, and it's going out mostly with folks who aren't sure, and they're coming back sure. So
I
I love
it's
it.
magical.
I love
I
it.
often refer to my house as the embassy for Autistica, but
Oh,
you have an
neat.
embassy there because you're like, hello, welcome to the horse collecting world. Have you
That's
considered you
right.
might be autistic?
That does happen in
That's right.
conversation around here quite
Yes.
often
Oh
now.
my God, that's so cool. Oh,
If you like
Uh,
these 7 people over here, you
right.
might also be part of the club.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And
It
you
just,
know when people come in because we know us. We can recognize
yes,
Yeah.
us.
peer
Other
review.
people say they can recognize us. Other people can't, but we can.
Yeah.
And I know when someone comes in very quiet and shy and doesn't want to make eye contact or have anyone speak to them at first, probably they're one of us. So I give
Mhm.
them a little bit of time, but then I start talking to them about collections. And next thing you know,
Ah,
it's like we've known each other forever, and they're part of the group. And
Right.
we were talking a little bit off camera, but I do want to mention this one young lady who came in the first time, and she stayed for several hours and loved it. We all had so much fun learning her stories and sharing our own. And then when she was leaving, she paused at the door and she said, "I hope I didn't overstay my welcome. Sometimes I do
oh,
that." And
Mhm.
it about broke everybody's heart in the room, and we all jumped right up to assure her that not only did she not overstay her welcome, that she was absolutely invited here all the
Yeah.
time, and that we want her here, and that she's one of us. We love her, and we loved her stories, and we want to hear more of them.
yes.
Yeah.
So, if she listens to this, she'll know exactly who she is, and she works with cows. So I don't know much about
Nice.
cows, but I am learning a lot about cows, and cows are also fascinating. So there you have it. Now we all get to learn about something that we don't know much about and love it. And the
I
pictures are
Also,
so cute.
I
little like,
subscribe to Nate the Hoof Guy on Facebook
Oh,
because
oh
I
yeah.
watch hoof trimming videos because that's how my brain works and that's how I'm calm, and I know about fixing that corium and getting rid of the line
white line
issue.
disease.
Yes. Oh my
Good
God.
job.
Yes.
Good
Holy
job.
shit.
Nice.
See, all the things that we
I'm
learn
so
from each
glad you
other.
came by. Yes. Yeah.
Well, and the
get her
miniature
involved too. Yeah.
cows,
Well.
the miniature
Oh my
cows
gosh.
are super cute.
They
Yes.
are
So
some
like,
up the road from us. They have miniature
yeah.
black Angus, and I'm like, where are the rest of your legs? You're like a Dachshund, but you're so cute. Like little corgis, is I
Nice.
guess more than Dachshunds.
Nice.
But
Oh
they're
my
just
God.
like
I
little
want a
corgis running
corgi
around.
cow.
They are little corgi cows.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
So,
Yeah.
well, this is about time.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we talked about all the joy because there's so much doom in the world. You're welcome to
Yeah.
come back literally anytime and
Oh, you're so
tell us
sweet.
more. We've got to have a main episode
Oh my gosh, that would be
about all
hilarious.
3 of you, and we'll have
There you
everybody
go.
come by and talk about.
We can all put on our accents. It would be fun.
Yeah, yeah,
We can
yeah.
park the car
There
in the
you go.
garage after we drive up the road. You know.
Get all Stephen King on it. That'll be massive.
Oh yes.
But yeah, but I'm really glad you came by. Please join us in Autistic Connections. Tell all your people to join us. And again, if anybody out there is listening and says, "Ah, yes, I have a really interesting life. I would like to talk about cows," you're like, "Okay,
Right.
yeah,
Come on and tell us. Yes.
Let's
I'll be
let's
listening,
talk
and I
about
want to hear
cows.
about it too.
yeah."
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
welcome to the
Very
community,
cool.
and we will see
Thank
you
you.
next time on the Autistic Voice Project. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.